Good afternoon. I'm Fernando. Today's discussion is how to network without feeling fake. My group consists of myself, Caroline, Diego, and Diana. The first key takeaways are the concepts of listening to learn and asking open-ended questions. Listening to learn is when I pay full attention to understand the speaker, such as my mentor, supervisor, or my colleagues. Open-ended questions are questions that cannot be answered with a yes or no answer. They usually start with the words why, how, what, or phrases like, can you explain and tell me about? These questions encourage deeper discussion and more detailed responses. One example would be a question such as, when did you start your business in marketing? And how did you get started? Yes or no questions are closed-ended questions. Second key takeaways uh, is that of complementary value, offering resources for free or exchanging knowledge, such as sharing free resources or guides to help customers use their products effectively. Also, maybe a business will give a free sample of a product, such as a cafe that gives small free samples of food to customers to encourage them to buy a meal. You may also share helpful advice or resources without charge and offer extra advantages, such as a mentor who shares tips and templates with interns for free. One example that I use is a Mercari seller. A customer asked me about free shipping. Um, Instead, I said, I can offer free shipping if you buy two or more small items. The third key takeaway is the goal of nurturing sustainable connections. You do this, for example, by when a mentor regularly checks in with interns to provide guidance and support, a business who keeps in touch with customers through helpful notifications and personalized offers, or, for example, colleagues who collaborate on projects while sharing knowledge and resources consistently. Examples of this might be a cafe that emails loyal customers special offers on their favorite drinks to maintain a lasting connection and keep customers engaged. Or if a customer is not satisfied with a product, I'm happy to accept a return or issue a full refund. I strive to provide a positive experience and build lasting connections with my buyers.
Hello, my name is Diego Gonzalez. I'm going to talk about first about two things. The first one is gonna be the inspiring quote, and the second one is gonna be actionable tips. So first of all, I would like to talk about the inspiring quote. I chose "Your Net Worth Is Your Net Worth" by Porter Gale, which is for me have a special meaning since I'm doing real estate. I think to create a big network, to be involved with a lot of different people, makes you growth, right? Building genuine relationships create opportunities, knowledge, and no long-term professional goals and growth. So, for example, if I were to maybe get involved in a professional level with some experts, at the beginning I need to network, right? I need to get them to know me. I need to maybe reach them through LinkedIn, for example, or through different social media platforms. So that will be very helpful in order for me to reach my goals, right? Um, why this quote matters? Network is about building relationship, like I said before, not just collecting contacts. It means like that you're building a network is based on not just to make friends. Is of course you want to make friends, but also bring value to your life. So if you want to build a good network, you need to find the right people, right? The people that is in charge of projects, for example, or if it is a good employee in their company, people that highlights in their career. So, like I said before, authentic connections create trust and different opportunities, which is pretty valuable. Valuable. Um, and also the quality of relationships can influence your career growth. So, in my case, for example, real estate, if you have good or valuable contacts or your network is very big, everyone will know about you, and now you are someone in the industry. Um, I would like to now start with talking about the actionable tips. So one of the tips that I chose, it was ask thoughtful questions, which is not just ask for ask, is make the right questions to create opportunities and also to learn, right? To create, to get your knowledge. Um, so I'm talking about don't ask just simple questions like that you already know the answer. It's more likely try to ask things with I would say like a big opportunity of growth, right? Focus on learning rather than trying to impress. So listen to a lot. Uh, don't try to show everything that you're good at, because it's gonna people is gonna see you that you are trying to be better than them, and that's not the intention that we want to show, right? So another questions like as examples that you can use, for example, is how did you get started in your career, what advice would you give someone entering this field. So those questions are good questions to make the other person feel comfortable and feel valuable. That's those are very important questions that you can ask to somebody that is in a higher level in your, for example, in your company. Other actionable tips: be authentic. So be honest about your interests and goals. Don't try to lie. Share your real passion experience, because you never know that other person might share the same passions or experience that you. So there you can create this link, which is gonna bring you more opportunities, right? Authenticity makes conversation more meaningful. So when you show your real interest in some things, for example, sports, right? Myself, I do jiu-jitsu, so I might talk about that, and maybe the person that I'm talking to, he heard about it, or maybe he's actually practicing jiu-jitsu too. So now we have a link, right? That I can work through that, right? So people connect with real enthusiasm and not perfect answers. We are not robots, so that means that you gotta be yourself. You gotta be uh, the way that you are. Of course, you gotta be control about the things that you say, but you gotta be authentic. And lastly, um, on the actionable tip, after the meeting or interview, is send a short message after the meeting, right? Saying, okay, thank you for having me. Thank you for tell me these tips, or maybe thank you for giving me your time, right? So they're gonna feel that you enjoy, right, the meeting, and that you already took something from it, right? After that, or maybe before, stay connected through LinkedIn or email, right? Having their contacts to make sure that they know that you have a special interest on the company, on in the person. So for example, it's a great meeting, thank you for telling me your experience in the industry, and thank you for having me there, right? So those are mandatory, I would say, right, after an interview, to stay in contact, and to feel like that you value the other person, whether it's their time, whether it's their opinion, right? So yeah. So thank you.
Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, is one of the most famous works on networking and relationship building. His main idea is that people build stronger professional connections when they show genuine interest in others instead of solely focusing on themselves. Carnegie explains that one of the most powerful networking habits is simply showing sincere curiosity about people. Instead of talking about your achievements or trying to impress others, he suggests asking questions and listening carefully. When people feel valued and understood, they are much more likely to form lasting relationships. This approach makes networking feel natural and meaningful instead of forced or transactional. One of the most famous Carnegie quotes is, "You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you." Another credible source we looked at was a Forbes article titled "How to Network Like a Pro Without That Icky Feeling." The article explains that many people feel uncomfortable networking because it can seem forced or transactional. Instead of focusing on promoting yourself, the authors suggest approaching networking with a mindset of building genuine relationships. Some key recommendations include providing value first, focusing on making one meaningful connection instead of trying to meet everyone, and showing real curiosity about the people you're speaking with. The article also encourages people to let go of the idea that networking requires a perfect or polished pitch. Overall, the main takeaway is that networking becomes much more natural and effective when it's centered around authenticity and genuine interest in others. For our YouTube reference, we found a TED Talk by Dr. Daniel Halleck, which he explores why networking can sometimes feel uncomfortable or even fake. In the talk, Halleck reflects on how he realized he had been approaching people as what he calls a transactional consumer, meaning he was thinking about what he could gain from others. He explains that this mindset often makes networking feel awkward or icky because it turns conversations into transactions rather than relationships. Instead, Halleck suggests shifting our mindset to becoming what he calls a relational investor. This means focusing on building genuine connections, supporting others, and creating value before asking for anything in return. When networking is approached this way, it becomes more authentic and meaningful.
One book that supports the idea of authentic networking is Give and Take by Adam Grant. In this book, Grant explains the most successful professionals are often what we call givers. These are people who help others, share advice, and create value without expecting something in return right away. When people focus on helping others instead of just promoting themselves, they build stronger and more genuine relationships. Over time, those relationships naturally turn into professional opportunities. Research from LinkedIn shows that job applications are about 3.6 times more likely to get hired if they have a connection with the company. This highlights why networking is so important. But networking doesn't have to feel fake. When you build relationships, show interest in others, and stay connected over time, those connections can lead to opportunities that you might not find through traditional job applications.